2 weeks ago in Coleman Coliseum, more than 8,000 fans turned out to watch the Crimson Tide open the season on a winning note, knocking off Ohio State. But Sarah Patterson's squad found out just how tough life on the road can be as they fell to top-ranked Georgia 1 week ago. As for Robert Dillard and the Auburn Tigers, they too lost at home last week, but showed great promise for the 1999 season in a meet against LSU. It's Alabama and Auburn on ACN Sports next. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, two of the nation's premier gymnastics programs battle for supremacy in the state of Alabama. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Coleman Coliseum, along with two-time All-American Dana Dobransky. I'm Chris Stewart, and we're glad to have you with us for the second home meet of the 1999 season for the University of Alabama gymnastics squad. Two teams meeting tonight, Dana, that are coming off of losses, but wins and losses really don't mean that much at this point of the season, do they?
That's right. Wins and losses aren't as important as your score. As you go through the season, the higher the score is where your ranking takes place. And it's more important going into the regionals where you're ranked, because it places you whether you start on vault bars, beam, or floor, and then being ranked, your average score helps in the final getting to nationals.
Two squads, whenever Alabama and Auburn get together, regardless of the sport, it's always exciting, but a very special evening tonight. Robert Dillard, the Auburn coach, bringing a squad into Tuscaloosa for the final time after a brilliant 24-year career.
That's right. Coach Dillard is a legend to Auburn gymnastics, similar to how Sarah is for Alabama. He's going to have a wonderful goodbye from Alabama this evening. He's still, coming after 2 years ago, losing his entire facility in a fire, has continued to recruit well, has continued to produce a nice, very talented team. So we're going to see a great meet tonight. A lot of great skills and a good rivalry like always.
Two of the top-ranked teams in America doing battle tonight in Coleman Coliseum. We'll have the start of Alabama and Auburn coming up next on ACN Sports. Alabama and Auburn doing battle tonight in Coleman Coliseum. Welcome back on a very stormy evening tonight. Probably keeping a couple of thousand folks away, and yet Dana Dobransky still a great turnout here for this matchup between the Tide and the Tigers.
That's right. Everyone still wants to come out and check out the Alabama-Auburn rival. See Sarah Patterson, 20 years. It's amazing how much she's grown this program. To think that a long time ago, 5 people would show up in Foster Auditorium.
And her husband and co-head coach, how about that? Assistant coach. They introduced them as the coaches, but David Patterson, obviously just as much a part of this program as Sarah, and the
Robert Dillard,
the head coach at Auburn, in his final appearance in Tuscaloosa, and honored with a standing ovation prior to tonight's meet. A great reception on the part of the Alabama fans. A standing ovation, as he has meant so much to gymnastics in this state.
34 years of coaching and 14 years at Auburn, and going against a team like Alabama and knowing that rivalry that exists, he's done a great job. In the past, Auburn has not had as much talent as Alabama has, but he has always been a national contender, or at least been up there. He recruits well. He's got a beautiful school, and so things have gone really well. And it's sad, but it's very happy to see Coach Dillard and everything he's done and where he'll be going.
He was a part of a championship at Jacksonville State.
I believe Division II, he had
Correct.
2 national championships, which is real strong for him.
Sarah Patterson with some last-minute thoughts as the Tide is just about set to get going, along with Auburn.
She may be looking at her schedule and seeing that there may be some order changes. If so, we'll have to find out what those are.
I hope we're notified. And there you see the record. Coach Robert Dillard.
This is the second home meet for Alabama, coming off of Georgia last week. They had a super meet. They did not win, but as we said earlier tonight, it's not about winning and losing. It's about improving on your score. Right now, Alabama is ranked 3rd with Utah ahead of them in 2nd right now, and Georgia in 1st place. So every meet counts as we build and increase the level of difficulty that we put in our skill and our routines and of that nature.
We'll have Alabama starting off on the vault, Auburn starting on the bars, and we'll have 2 teams competing at the same time as Whitney Morgan is the first to vault for the tie.
Whitney starts off with a half front in a tuck position. It is a 9.9 start value. And as many of you know, that means that if she does that vault absolutely perfectly, the best score that she can receive is a 9.9.
See Sally Cantrell wrapping up her routine on the bars. First for Auburn, the sophomore from Tampa. The second vault upcoming for Whitney Morgan.
On Sally's bar routine, she dismounts with a giant to a double tuck flyaway. A little separation in the legs, but a good landing. We do have a different format going on tonight. We have both events going on at the same time. One, Sarah wanted to keep the event really going and a lot of action going on at the same time. So it makes our job a little tougher, but a lot more exciting for the crowd.
That is difficult for us as it is for those in the truck. And Auburn will wait the second competitor while Whitney wraps up her second vault.
Whitney, a freshman, has done an incredible job for Alabama. She is a competitor. She's come in and she's been consistent in all 3 meets, or as we've seen so far. She's done a great job. And having 6 freshmen on a team, it's a lot of pressure there to be able to make the lineup and to stand out when you have 6 very talented young ladies. Her second vault, a half in a tuck position, a better landing, as you can see.
David Patterson very pleased with that one, as you see there.
This is Lori Bernay from Auburn. She starts off with a wide hip, straddle handstand, giant swing, giant full, little bit of hesitation to a piked ginger. See the small separations in her legs. As every time she separates, those are small little deductions that add up, that take the score down from a 10-0. She concludes with a giant swing, full pirouette, to an immediate double fly leg. A lot of crunch in that position, a lot of bent legs. That's going to be quite a bit of deduction, probably up to 3/10 just in that dismount alone.
Bernay, the freshman from Annapolis, Maryland, as now we see a sophomore, Dara Stewart, freshman All-American a season ago for the Crimson Tide from just across the way in Hoover, Alabama.
Another consistent competitor for Alabama. Dara has come a long way. I believe she'll be throwing a new vault for herself this year. It is a handspring front in a piked position. And Dara's sort of like a Cinderella tale. She kind of came from an area where she never, we never knew she was going to be able to be at Alabama Gymnastics, and she got on the team and has done an incredible job. A great start.
You tell from the smile, she's very happy with that one.
She gets a good run. She's got a nice pre-flight, good pike position in the air, and a nice bent knee landing, which is important because coming down on a pike vault, one of the biggest risks of a pike vault is you're straight and lock-legged. So the landing of bending the knees is very important.
Jill Redding now on the bars for Auburn.
And Jill starts off with a straddle handstand to a giant, to a pike ginger. She has a 5/10 deduction for missing and falling. Coach Darrow lifts her back up so she can continue the rest of her routine. A shoot over. It's considered a release move. She goes to a hip cast handstand. Giant swing, double pike.
And you saw on the split screen there, Dara Stewart not as successful on her second landing, or second vault. As we go back and see the fall again for Jill Redding on the bars.
She lets go, separation of the legs, isn't close enough to that bar, and lands on her stomach. But with the big pad on there, it's nice and safe. For her dismount, she does a double pike with a decent landing, a nice way to finish after having a 5/10 deduction on that fall.
In the meet a week ago against LSU, Redding with an 8.8 as we take a look at Alabama's next competitor on the vault, Reagan Tomasek for the Crimson Tide. Reagan, you see, from Mastic Beach, New York.
Reagan comes from Hills Angels. Is actually, if you keep up with USA Gymnastics, Dominique Dawes, who was one of the big top 6 in the Olympics this year, came from, or last year, that's 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Time flies.
Keep going, it does, doesn't it?
Is from that same gym. Reagan is a very elegant competitor. She has a very unique look. She's not only very flexible, but very strong. See her here?
And a great landing on the first vault.
Right. She starts with a 10-0, and it was a half pike. She does half on, half off in a pike position, and a nice, great landing.
Now on the bars is Megan Michaels for Auburn.
Megan had that small little interruption by hitting her heel on that Tkachev. She goes right to a nice straddle back to handstand. Now because of the extra swing, she misses her combination, which makes her start value drop significantly. But she picks it back up to conclude with a giant swing, and a toe front. Not a very difficult dismount. Small step on the landing, but not bad from having that small hit of the heel in the middle of that routine.
Michael's a freshman from Pennsylvania as we see the second vault from Reagan.
Although she had a little bit of a deep squat landing, that vault was better. As you can see in this replay, she's got a good strong run. Her position on the air is beautiful. Nice 2 vaults from Reagan.
Next up for the Crimson Tide, Coach Sarah and David Patterson will be Alexa Martinez.
You know, another freshman. We're really utilizing the freshmen, which is such a wonderful thing to see because they're getting the experience that they need to get prepared for the big meets that are coming up.
Another young lady competed for Capital Gymnastics.
And Capital is a gym where you've seen former stars from Alabama, Stephanie Woods, Kara Stilt, Cheryl Dundas, and now we have Alexa, who is not only a talented gymnast, but she's a great performer, and she's just dynamic and fun to watch. And talk about power, she's got a great vault.
What happened there? Where did she lose it?
She probably lost it. Here in this replay, you can tell it's probably in the pre-flight where her hands hit the horse. She was really on the front of that horse. It didn't get her height. Didn't get her up off the horse real quick. So the rotation was a little slower. And that was a handspring front in a tough position with a half twist.
Now we're going to see Auburn senior Sarah Balagash competing for the first time on the bars.
Sarah's the highest Auburn gymnast at this point right now. She's within the top 35 in the country. I believe she's ranked about 19th in the all-around right now. She has a giant full to a blind change to a piked Jaeger. To an immediate shoot over. Setting up for her dismount, a straddle handstand, little bit of bent knees, small deductions, and a double full flyaway. And she saved that landing, stepping right into the presentation to the judge.
Balagash ranked 11th in the region on the floor, 12th on the beam, 18th on the bars, and 5th in the all-around as we see the next vault for the Tide. That is Martinez with her second attempt.
And much better, as you can see, basically landing on her feet, number 1. But she was higher. She's got a better position on the horse here. A better lift, a better push. She was trying to protect that land a little bit and land a little straight-legged, so that kind of threw her off. But that's the way to do it when you know, coming back on vault with 2 vaults. To come back after making a mistake like that is a true competitor.
young lady who is an outstanding competitor as well, due up next for Alabama, Robin Hawkins. But this is Sarah Wentworth for Auburn, wrapping up this event. Among the competitors, I believe there will be one exhibition performance as well from Auburn, but this is the 6th and final score that will count on the bars.
Sarah's been a consistent competitor for Coach Dillard from the day she stepped on board.
And it will be Hawkins who will compete first. Winner of the all-around here in Tuscaloosa in the opener against Ohio State.
And Robin's doing a new vault tonight. She's going to add a half twist. Half on, half off, laid out position.
Yep. Her routine on the bars.
She had a beautiful routine. She ended with a pike front dismount, which is a very difficult dismount because it's a blind landing. You can see here she puts her feet on the bar, nice pike position. You can see in the smile on her face she was very pleased with her routine.
In the second vault upcoming for Hawkins, overcoming an injury from last year and a great start to 1999 for the Crimson Tide for that young lady.
Not a bad second vault. She landed a little backward, so with her angle to where it was a difficult vault to land, but she gets a great amount of height off there. Beautiful layout position. Didn't quite twist as fast as she did the first vault, which made the rotation a little slower. But another first attempt at a home meet with a new vault at a 10-0 value. I'm sure that Sarah and David are very pleased.
Next up for the Crimson Tide will be Andrea Pickens, as we see an exhibition performance on the bars from Stacy Jewett for Auburn. She's a junior out of Severna Park, Maryland, but back to Andrea Pickens, who really got the crowd excited in the home opener against Ohio State.
Andrea is such a powerful gymnast that she can catch anyone's eye. She's a very unique vault. Yurchenko, layout half. She almost has so much power, it's hard to control. She had a rather big step on the landing, but did a absolutely gorgeous Yurchenko laid out half. She has a round off, see her hands go on the floor, a back handspring, pushes off, half twist, layout position, and about a big 10th step on that landing.
The timing, I would think, has got to be absolutely perfect, obviously in any event, but especially as you're approaching the vault with that type of move into the vault, I should say.
That particular vault is a dangerous vault because you're completely blind going backwards into the horse. And the consistency of the timers and getting the rhythm, like you said, the timing is everything on that vault.
You lose for the small hop at the end.
The small hops are normally maybe a half of a 10th deduction. She gets a great position off that horse. Beautiful layout and a very minimal hop. I'd say 5.05 at the max.
Final competitor on the vault for the Crimson Tide, Andrea Pickens. Will have the scores for you in just a moment after the first rotation. But do want to remind you, college basketball action coming up Saturday night here in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide playing host to the Auburn Tigers. Just lost their first game of the year on the road at Lexington. They'll be without their standout Chris Porter, suspended today for 3 games, but Alabama coming in on a bit of a roll. 2 straight victories, including a win on the road in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Big win for the Tide, and we invite you to join us here Saturday night at 10 o'clock. Kevin Hensley joining me with the call of that matchup, the replay of Alabama and Auburn Saturday night here on ACN Sports. Sarah Patterson very pleased with her squad's performance after 1 rotation. The Tide starting on the vault. Auburn wrapping up competition on the bars. We'll be back to Coleman Coliseum in just a moment as Robin Hawkins sends us to a break.
ACN Sports.
Chris Stewart and Dana Dobransky back with you in Tuscaloosa after the first rotation. Let's look at the scores. You see the high score for Auburn on the bars posted by Sarah Whitworth, at 9.8. As you see the team score there for Auburn. As we turn to the Crimson Tide and see the high score there from Andrea Pickens, a 9.9. And Dana, while the overall number may not be as good as Alabama will need later on, it is an improvement from a week ago.
That's right. They had about a 4-10 improvement, and all those 10s help. Andrea was a part of that with a beautiful round off your Chinko, laid out half, vault, small step on the landing. Well, maybe not small, but still scored a 9.90, which what that tells us, that vault is 10-0 value. She took one step, 1/10. That means if she would have stuck that landing, she would have had a 10-0.
And an improvement over last week's score at Georgia, where she had a 9.875. I want to thank our many affiliates across the state, a growing list of stations joining us, part of the ACN Sports family.
Right now, what we're watching is a 4-minute touch warm-up between each event. The girls get a chance to touch the event for 30 seconds apiece. They get time a little longer on bars because of the adjusting. You see the height of the bars go up and down and in and out, so they allocate more time for that so that you have a few minutes, because when you're not on the apparatus, you're not warming up. And so that time it takes to change the bars is why you have a little longer warm-up.
Again, the head coach of the Auburn Gymnastics program, wrapping up his career, Robert Dillard, Howard College native. 14 years at Auburn, 24 years overall in the collegiate ranks after taking Jacksonville State to national prominence at the Division II level, moving to Auburn, and also making the Tigers a top 25 team as well. You get lost in the shadows sometimes of Alabama and Georgia and the others that have been national competitors, but still a very solid program that Robert Dillard has built at Auburn.
Now going into the second event, Auburn is about 2.1, little few tenths here and there behind Alabama. So if you wanted to do the equivalent of a basketball game, you're looking at like a 60 to 40 point lead. 2 points is 4 falls, so it'd be tough unless Alabama has a lot of mistakes and Auburn is absolutely perfect for them probably to come up from behind and take the lead.
Megan Michaels with her first vault for the Auburn Tigers.
Megan competes a handspring front in a tough position. It's a 9.8 start value, so the maximum she'll be able to receive on that would be a 9.8. We're looking for a pre-flight and on the horse position. She has a bent legs, decent front position, but not a lot of height coming off that horse. So there's small deductions all the way through that vault. Now,
and Robin Hawkins will start off for the Tide on the bars.
Robin does a beautiful Tkachev to an immediate straddle back. That's 2 release moves, right back to back. And as you're watching bars, you're going to see release moves. 2 are a requirement. She has unique dismount. Actually has a name called the Gonzalez. A giant to a back tuck off.
And the second vault from Michaels. She wraps her turn on the vault for Auburn.
Not one of the most difficult vaults that we've seen this evening. However, she did the second one well.
And a good look at one of the 2 seniors on this Alabama team, Gwen Speidel, All-American, and a true leader on this squad in the meet at Georgia. She and Dara Stewart led the Tide, posting 9.75s.
Gwen is a great competitor.
But next up for Auburn will be Jennifer Ross, the Mississippi native, with her first vault for the Tigers.
Jennifer will be competing a layout suit. You'll see a half on onto the horse and a layout position off. That was a pretty good vault. Little bit of form breaks throughout there.
Spital beginning her routine.
Gwen has a real dynamic routine. She starts off with a big uprise to handstand, a giant to blind change, to a beautiful high Jaeger. You see Alabama is really tight and not a lot of form breaks in their routines. She concludes with a giant, and a big full-in dismount with a beautiful landing.
Yeah, it's amazing. We talked about this in the home meet against Ohio State, but she recently had bone chips removed from her ankle, and to see her compete at this level is outstanding.
Especially with a new dismount just like that. That was a beautiful full-in back out in a tuck position. A new dismount for Gwen. Especially exciting to see a senior improve their difficulty level like that.
Ross with her second vault for the Tigers.
Small hop on the landing. Probably a 1 to 1.5 land. Looks like she may have hurt herself. She comes off. She's got a little bit of an arch. She does a half on. She pushes off. Arch a little bit, comes around. Looks like she either may have knocked the wind out of her or maybe hurt that leg a little bit. She's limping on that left side right now.
When she landed, it looked like she may have twisted or jammed an ankle there. As we'll go to the next competitor for Alabama, Mandy Chapman, the second senior, competing for the Tide on the bars.
Mandy's another wonderful leader for Alabama. She's been consistent this year. She's got a great bar team with lots of difficulty. Starts off with a straddle over to an uprise to handstand. Giant swing, blind change, to a piked Jaeger, to an immediate shoot over. 2 release moves right in a row. She sets up for her third release move. A Tkachev. And she's getting ready for her dismount. A giant swing. To a double tuck flyaway with a perfect landing.
A national champion, part of a national championship team as a freshman, and then third last year as a junior. Mandy Chapman trying to help Alabama get back to a national championship again.
Mandy concludes with a very clean dismount. This is not the hardest dismount out there, but she does a double tuck flyaway. See the nice position in the air, and what a landing.
Second vault upcoming for Sally Cantrell. You saw the first in the corner of your screen during Mandy's routine on the bars.
And Sandling has a very difficult vault. It's a very unique one that we don't see very often. She has a handspring double full. She sets up for a second. She tries to get 2 twists around there, a little short.
We'll take a look at the replay again.
Handspring, 2 twists, 1, 2, a little short in the landing, kind of a step. It's a 9-9 or value vault, very difficult.
First international gymnast competing on the bars for Crimson Tide, Natalie Barrington from Ontario, Canada.
She's got one of the most unique bar teams in the country. Natalie concludes her dismount with a double pike flyaway. You can see the smile on her face. She's very pleased. But what we didn't get a chance to see was a inverted giant, which is a very unique move on the bars that very few women do in the country.
Finished third on the bars in the 1997 Canadian National Championships as we look at the beginning of her routine again.
I'm so glad we had a chance to see this because she does something very different. She starts off with a giant swing to a half full, a giant full. And you watch her hands. She turns inverted, swings in the opposite direction to an immediate pack salto.
Sarah Wentworth just about to begin her second vault. As we'll take a look at the first vault on replay.
Sarah does a Yurchenko vault, a round off onto the horse, back handspring into a layout position. Takes a pretty large step backwards, but a strong vault. Nice repulsion off the horse. Hearing that little crowd explosion,
right.
We had Dara Stewart miss her release move, but Sarah sets up for her second vault. Not as strong as a vault, takes a 5/10 deduction on the landing for the fall.
It is Dara Stewart wrapping up her routine on the bars.
She concludes that was a straddle back to handstand, and now she's setting up for a very dynamic new dismount for this season. A double layout, giant swing, double lay position. Recovering from a small minor problem, missing the bars. She has a very high release move. She does the Tkacha, very nice height. But doesn't sit up fast enough, and those hands miss the bar. Well, hit the bar, but fall off. Beautiful dismount, double layout. Small little step on the landing, but she steps right to present to the judge.
That'll bring up Missy Lauderdale from Auburn.
Missy competes a vault, a piked handspring front, starting value of a 9.9. That was a very nice vault. Doesn't get a lot of distance from the horse, but gets a lot of power.
Career high of 9.75 a year ago.
She gets a good pre-flight. Little bend in the knees, but a beautiful landing. She seems very happy about it, too.
I would think so, judging from that reaction.
When we're watching these vaults, we're looking for a strong run. The judges are going to be deducting and watching for the pre-flight, which is the movement from the board to the horse, the position on the horse, and the after-flight, which is the body position in the air, and then, of course, the landing. Another attempt at the same vault, a handspring piked front, but she sits down, which is a 5/10 deduction.
We'll bring us to Andrea Pickens on the bars.
Andrea has a great release move here, a Hindorf. Now, last weekend, she had a little bit of trouble with that. Had a small but minor fall. Goes to a huge Tkacha. She's her fourth release move of a straddle back to handstand. She concludes with a straddle up to handstand. Giant swing, and a full in back out.
Safe to say she likes it?
I would say so. So did the crowd. She does two giants to set up for her dismount. A full in, back out, beautiful position. And a perfect landing.
And a standing ovation from this Coleman Coliseum crowd as Sarah Balagash has her first turn at the vault. And we'll see it on replay.
Got a loud crowd in the background. We've got a Yurchenko in a layout position. Small separation in the legs and a small hop in the landing. Sarah going to set up for her next vault. She'll repeat the same. I believe she's going to try a harder vault. This vault will add a half twist. It is called the Phelps, as in J.C. Phelps, who competed in the '96 Olympics. The large crowd noise you heard in the back was because Andrea is one of Alabama's favorite gymnasts. Sarah does her second vault, tries to add a half twist, doesn't go as well as planned, has a pretty heavy landing, and you can see her left leg is wrapped up pretty high, so it certainly could be a small problem. When she sets up for the second vault, she does the round-off entry, doesn't get a lot of height off that vault, has a small separation, not a lot of rotation. So her feet were way in front of her, and her head was way behind her, so it was hard to get to her landing position to land on her feet.
Sarah Balagash, the final competitor for Auburn. On the vault, you see there wrapping up her second as Sarah Patterson looks on. Her Crimson Tide off to a very good start. And again, we want to remind you, if you've maybe tuned in a little bit late to this broadcast, you can see it again Saturday, January the 23rd at 3 o'clock here on ACN Sports. This is the best in SEC gymnastics competition as the Tide and Auburn square off from Coleman Coliseum. Again, you can see this replay once more at 3 p.m. on Saturday right here on ACN Sports. We've gone through 2 rotations now in Tuscaloosa. Alabama and Auburn meeting in gymnastics competition. Back with more after this here on ACN Sports. Dana Dobransky, I'm Chris Stewart, back with you in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as you see the scores after 2 rotations. For Sarah Patterson's Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Auburn Tigers, coached by Robert Dillard. Let's take a look at the numbers for the Tigers on the vault. High number posted by Lauderdale. Missy Lauderdale, the 9.775, leading the Tigers in that event. And for the Crimson Tide, great job on the bars. So I believe Pickens with the top score there, 9.975. Gwen Spidle also, you see there on her touches for the vault, or for the beam, excuse me, but a great job for the Tide on the bars. I want to thank our ACN Sports affiliates across the state, Marcus and TCI Cable in Birmingham, Cable 1 and Channel 24 in Anniston. It's Century Cable in both Coleman and Blunsville, part of the ACN Sports family. And so many others across the state of Alabama coming on board as well. Demopolis Cable, Marcus Cable in Walker, Comcast right here in Tuscaloosa. In Warrior, it's Century Cable, Falcon Cable in Decatur, and Auburn Campus Cable there at Auburn University. And Andrea Pickens, the top scorer for the Crimson Tide in both the vault and the bars thus far.
Andrea has started off and has done a great job. Not from the crowd or anything.
No, not at all.
You know.
Just wait till she gets on the floor exercise.
Well, now we're moving into Alabama on the beam, and let's see, what do we want to look for? We're going to be looking for acrobatic dance combinations. That's like a flipping trick and a dance move connected. We've got a mandatory full turn. You've got to look for some big leaps. And you have to do elements that are on the beam. Of course, you got to have a dance series, which are 2 leaps in a series together.
Mandy Chapman will lead off for the Tide on the beam. Mandy, the 2-time Scholastic All-American, 2-time All-SEC, and an All-American as well out of Greensboro, North Carolina. You see her numbers on the uneven bars. Last year tied her career best with 39.300 for a 3rd place all-around finish at the SEC Championships. And her career best came against Utah State. She and Lissy Smith tied for the Crimson Tide's best balance beam score a year ago with a 9.95 at LSU.
See Auburn there getting ready for the floor exercise. One of the crowds, absolutely the crowd's favorite event.
Right.
They get to clap with the music and see a very wide variety of dance and skills. And of course, tumbling is all so exciting. And then you have the daring, dangerous 4-inch wide balance beam.
Is this the toughest part? The moments just leading up to approaching the apparatus?
It can be a little nerve-wracking, especially balance beam, because balance beam is so mental. And the first person up really starts the momentum. Mandy has been a consistent first up competitor for Alabama. She starts off with a switch split to a wolf jump. That is a leap combination. Now she's setting up for an acrobatic combination. This is a gainer, back handspring, layout, step out. Very well done. Another difficult leap, a switch split to a straddle jump to another straddle jump, giving her a 2/10 bonus combination. She does her full turn requirement. As you remember, the first home meet last time, Mandy was a little wobbly, and she, as she has more experience, just gets a lot more confident. Has a beautiful gym acro combination of a front handspring to immediate Sassone, which is difficult because it's a blind landing forward.
You have to work your way into shape basically as the season progresses and you build up as the year goes on. Is this something where you can be at your best for that first meet?
You can be, especially on balance beam, but it's really the nerves. And she proves to be strong here with a beautiful dismount, a gainer, a layout full off the side. This is a great gym series. A gainer, back handspring, layout, step out. Nice position all the way through. Here she sets up for her dismount. A gainer full layout position off the side. Great start for Alabama.
Sarah Whitworth next up for Auburn. First up, actually, on the floor exercise.
Her first tumbling pass, a front handspring, front full. In a layout position. Not the most difficult tumbling pass we're going to see today, but very clean, well done, no deductions. Up for a double turn to a wolf full to a Shushanova. Gives her a 2/10 combination. And she fulfills a 3-leap requirement. Her second tumbling pass. A round off flip flop. Double full. So far, Sarah's been very clean. We've seen little room for deduction. There she attempted an E-level skill of a 1.5 wolf. Another attempt at a triple turn, not bad, but because she put the heel down. It's possible they couldn't give her credit for that. Third tumbling pass, front handspring, front half, to a layout, step out. She had some great dance and a great smile all the way through. Good start again for Auburn.
Let's take a look at the performance again from Sarah Whitworth for the Auburn Tigers.
That tumbling pass, the front layout to a layout step out, is a very pretty pass. It's not a very difficult pass, but she did it very clean.
We'll bring up Reagan Thomasek for the Crimson Tide. Second competitor on the beam. You see her number on the vault.
Reagan has a front tuck start mount. That is a difficult mount, and she does it very well. Sets up for her acro series. A back handspring, layout. See her smile. She must feel pretty comfortable and happy up there. Switch split. Gives her a 1/10 bonus combination. I really like the way Reagan moves on beam. She has a very unique style. Another difficult front tuck, blind forward landing. That was a beautiful back handspring with a quarter turn, also called the Miller. And it was named after Shannon Miller, who a lot of people are familiar with from the '96 Olympics. She fulfills her full turn requirement. And now sets up for her dismount. A round off, double full, with a small step on the landing. But a nice routine for Reagan.
Reagan Thomasek, the Crimson Tide, freshman out of New York.
She does a front tuck on the beam, and she dismounts with a double full dismount. This is pretty difficult combinations in her routine, and she did a great job.
Joe Redding leading on the floor exercises now for the Auburn Tigers.
Jill has a very dynamic piece of music from the movie Mortal Kombat. Fills a 3-leap series right there. Gives her some bonus combination. She sets up for her second tumbling pass. A front to a round off flip-flop full. Right there she fulfills a combination in her tumbling these days where you have to have 2 different flips in one pass. She has a jump full and a half wolf turn right there. Gives her a 110. And it's nice to see Robin continue to become more consistent on balance beam. Of all the events, I would say this is probably one that gives Robin more trouble than any others. Certainly not trouble in a real bad way, but not the easiest for her. She comes up with a nice switch split to a wolf jump. 1/10. Drop. That's about a 1 to 2/10 deduction. She gets ready for this dismount. 2-foot Rudy off the end. A little bit of plate down, so there'll be a small deduction there and then a little bit in the landing.
Christy Mann now on the floor exercises for Auburn. She had a 9.725 in the Tigers' first meet at home against LSU.
Shows the country theme a little bit. Goes to a 3-leap series that gives her a 2/10 bonus. Her second tumbling pass, front handspring, front full, small air on the step forward. I have to compliment Auburn on their choreography because they've really improved on just getting the crowd involved. Right there, that leap was a 2/10 combination because she tried to do an E-level jump. This is a little bit of rest time for her to get prepared for her third and final tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop, full. Clean, but not very difficult.
Christy Mann wrapping up the floor exercise routine for Auburn. We'll take a look at part of it once more.
Watch how Christy's head is up while she runs, and then she goes for this next tumbling pass, a basic round off flip-flop full to conclude her routine.
Bring up Lissy Smith on the beam for the Crimson Tide.
Lissy's another fun gymnast to watch on balance beam. She's got her own style, she's quick, and she's got a great series. She's been very consistent for Alabama since she's been here. A back handspring, lay out, lay out. See that small smirk on her face? She was very pleased with the way that felt and the way she completed it.
The crowd liked it as well.
It's a very difficult series. She goes to her leap series, which is another difficult switch split to a wolf 3/4. Full turn requirement. Sets up for a beautiful tourte. Small little bounce there. It's too bad because she was about perfect until that point. This is a difficult gym acro combination, a standing layout step out. Now she'll do a small back handspring to a wolf jump to get her combination. Sets up for a dismount, a round off double full. One step on the landings, had a great job. Alabama has been very consistent so far on balance beam.
Tell she's happy with that one. Lissy Smith once more on the beam.
This is a great back handspring layout to another immediate layout, and not a wobble in sight. This is where her wobble came in after a turgite. You see her left shoulder drop a little bit, arms out of control, but she recovers just fine. And a beautiful dismount, round off double full, a little bit of a pike down, which she didn't need because it made her step backwards.
Now Sally Cantrell on the floor exercise for the Tigers.
Sally starts off with a 2.5. Gives her a 1/10 bonus. To a 3-leap series requirement. She sets up for her second tumbling pass. Now you can see she had a little difficulty on that second tumbling pass. She's going to get prepared for her third tumbling pass. A round off flip-flop, double full, and she lands that just fine. To a full turning Shushanova.
And a nice routine from Sally Cantrell.
And see how this one has, she's a front handspring to a front full. She's sitting way back, so it's real hard for her to get hit in that round off, which makes the rest of that tumbling pass really scrunched together. Cause a little minor deduction here and there throughout the routine.
Probably heard the reaction in the background. Lissy Smith with a 9.825 on the beam. 9.85 put on the board to start things off for Mandy Chapman, and then the Tide will go with their fifth competitor on the beam. This, of course, Andrea Pickens.
Andrea started off with a difficult front tuck mount. She goes to a switch split wolf jump for a beautiful leap series. She prepares for her acrobatic series. A back handspring, layout step out.
I know you work with the choreography, these girls. Does that involve music and everything, or do they pick that themselves? Or
Sarah and I work together with the gymnasts and kind of get a feel for how they like to move, what kind of music they prefer. For the most part, a lot of times when they're new, we haven't seen them compete, we may pick their music out for them, and then from there you kind of look at their body type, you look at their style, and you try to match what they're comfortable with. And of course, you try to really incorporate the crowd as you create your routines. Sarah has done a great job choreographing all the beam routines. And there's all these requirements, like this right here was a leap series requirement. You've seen the gym acro, and you've seen the acro series. There's so many requirements on beam. It doesn't leave you that much room for a real unique choreography, but you certainly can add your own personality and style to every routine. And Sarah does a real good job pulling that out of each gymnast. As you can see here, Andrea did the most difficult beam dismount in the meet this evening. A beautiful round off going back.
and absolutely stuck it.
It was beautiful. Back handspring, layout, step out is her 3-trick acrobatic series. And look at this dismount, a round off to a beautiful double tuck and perfect landing.
Now Jennifer Ross on the floor.
Next on the floor, Jennifer Ross.
Jennifer starts off with a round off flip-flop double tuck and a beautiful landing. That was very well done. switch side, Hopa to a Shushanova, a 210 leap combination. She's going to be getting set up here for her second tumbling pass. Round off flip flop, full and a half punch from it. Again, another difficult tumbling pass. Now what we're looking for here on the floor is you have to find dance series which has 3 skills in it. Or you have a gym acro gym or an acro gym acro, which is a leap and a trip and a leap combination. You can do either or. There she does an attempt at a full and a half wolf. Gives her an E-level move, gives her a 2/10 deduction just for doing that one element. Her last tumbling pass, a round off flip flop full. Clean, not the most difficult tumbling pass to end with, but definitely kept the routine clean and nice.
Jennifer had a 9.75, a career high in the floor in her first meet of the year against the LSU Tigers. The score just posted for Andrea Pickens a 9.8 on the beam, as Gwen Spidle will wrap things up on the beam for the Crimson Tide. Moved into that very prestigious role of being the 6th competitor on the beam for the Tide.
A lot of times we call that 6th person the ringer, because no matter what happened between the gymnasts before them, they kind of close it up. Sort of like the first person and the last person help set the standard. Of course, every routine is important in between. Gwen prepares for her acro series. Back handspring, layout, back handspring. Very well done. So wolf jump to a back handspring, filling her gym acro combination. Now she's down on the beam, filling her close to the beam mandatory skill. Switch ring double stag to a wolf jump. A large leap combination. She fulfills her full turn requirement. Now sets up her dismount of a tuck full off the side. A very well done routine.
Gwen Spidle, solid performance on the beam. So take a look at it once again.
Gwen's dismount, a tuck gainer full off the end. The great landing. Not one of the most difficult dismounts, but it certainly gets her off the beam clean.
And the final competitor on this rotation, Sarah Balagash, competing in floor exercises.
Sarah's a dynamic. She starts off an attempt at a triple full. She's got a real crowd pleasing routine. Tough jump double. It's a difficult leap. Second tumbling pass, front handspring, front half to immediate layout step out. And that pass right there gave her a 2 flipping different combination requirement. See, I was talking about personality. You can kind of add and incorporate what you like. 3 leap series. Give her a 2/10 combination, maybe even a 3, depending if they gave her that triple turn. Setting up for her 3rd tumbling pass. Round off flip flop double full and a nice landing.
senior for the Tigers, Sarah Balagosh, wrapping up on the floor exercises, currently ranked 11th in the region on the floor.
First turn pass. She attempts a triple full, gets about a 2.5, and then a small step, so she'll get a small deduction there. Nice double full to end the dismount.
Crowd getting the word. Gwen Speidel also posting better than a 9.8, a 9.85. And that lady, Sarah Patterson, has to be very pleased as we're about to make our final rotation here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A very solid performance on the beam. Alabama and Auburn moving to the final event, this gymnastics meet here in SEC competition. Back to Tuscaloosa right after this on ACN Sports. I'm Chris Stewart back with you in Tuscaloosa. We see the numbers for Auburn after the third rotation, or actually on the third event, I should say, the floor exercises. Top score there posted by Sarah Wentworth. And Alabama getting solid numbers across the board. 9.85s posted by Gwen Speidel and Mandy Chapman, the best for the Crimson Tide.
Alabama had a wonderful beam set, and that's really where you make or break a national championship. It is always, and probably 9 times out of 10, come down to the balance beam squat. Basically how they do. The team that stays on, if they're in the top ranking, is the team that wins, for the most part.
Got an opportunity to thank some more affiliates and welcome those of you watching across the state. Edge Cable in Lafayette, Comlink. Those of you watching us on Lake Martin. In Lynette, it's Knology Cable, Luverne Cable, Marcus Cable in Lynette as well. Phoenix City Cable among the list of cable affiliates across the state. Also Troy Cable Vision, Op Cable System, Scottsboro City Cable, Bell South Cable joining us in Vestavia, AD Cable Management in Asheville, Springville, Good Hope, and Blount County. All across the state. Glad to have you folks joining us, and we hope you will join us again on Sunday at 5 o'clock for the replay of Auburn and Alabama. Crimson Tide playing host to the Tigers. Bama having won their last 2 SEC contests after starting off 0-4 in league play. Auburn coming off of a loss, their first of the year at Kentucky, and also the loss of their top player, Chris Porter, suspended for 3 games today by head coach Cliff Ellis. So an interesting matchup in Coleman Coliseum. We invite you to join us for the replay here on ACN Sports. Sarah Patterson, happy to be pleased, I would think, Dana, with the performance of her squad thus far.
She really has. I'm sure that she's very pleased. It's pretty exciting going into this last event because if you look at what we scored last week in Georgia, a total of a 195.725, we're currently at a 147.525. What that means is a 9.65 average on every floor team will beat our last week's score. And that's really what we're going after every week. Alabama is trying to improve on their scores. They're adding difficult tumbling passes, more difficult vaults. You've seen some new tricks compared to last week. And that's what their goal. And it's exciting to see as they improve, especially, remember, we're dealing with 11 underclassmen, 6 freshmen, 5 sophomores, 2 very valuable seniors who have been great role models.
Auburn will go first on the beam. Sally Cantrell, you see her score on the floor exercise.
Sally starts off with a strength press to handstand mount. She's a 3/4 wolf. Gives her a large leap. The gym series. A back handspring and a step out. Small bend in the knee and then, but very well done. She attempts a 3/4 split jump. That 5/10 reduction will be because she fell off the balance beam. Sets up to a wolf jump, to a split jump half, 3 leap series on the beam. Which is a hard combination to attempt. She did a good job. That was a leaping to a trick combination. Getting her down on the beam requirement. Her dismount, a round off double full. Small squat on the landing, so they'll have a small deduction there. You can see she attempts a very difficult split turning leap. That sticks her rear back, so she threw her off. She gets for a dismount, a round off double full. Little weakness in there.
And that was Sally Cantrell wrapping up on the beam, and Mandy Chapman will start things off on floor exercise for the Crimson Tide.
Mandy starts off with a nice clean Rudy, which is a 4.5 twist in the front layout position. Second tumbling pass, front full to a punch front. Fulfilling her 2 flipping requirement in the 1 pass. Her leap series, switch side, Popa. Switch split fly spring to a Shushanova. A nice acro gym combination. Acro gym acro combination. Mandy's setting up here for her last and final tumbling pass. Round off flip flop, double full. A nice start for Alabama.
Mandy Chapman, one of 2 seniors on this Crimson Tide squad.
She was a tough first tumbling pass, a front handspring with a 1.5. Oh, that was her second tumbling pass, a front full to her punch front. And her last pass, a round off flip flop, double full. Small plate down on the landing, but a nice finish.
Now Christy Mann on the beam for Auburn.
She mounts the beam with a unique mount. Goes to a ring double stag jump, which is kind of scary because she takes her head off the balance beam completely and looks up to the ceiling. She has that handspring layout for her acro series. From our angle, you couldn't see a lot of the bend in the knees, but she had some deduction there. She's a gainer back handspring to a split quarter, getting her requirement of her gym acro. She has that handspring quarter to handspring. Same move that our Alabama Reagan Thomas attempted. She goes to a switch split to a wolf half, giving her a 1/10 combination. Full turn requirement. And a 3/4 wolf jump. Setting up for her dismount. She's a round off full. A clean start for Auburn.
Christy Mann on the beam. Surprised that both teams have gotten off to such solid starts on the beam.
Yeah, well, actually, she's the second one for Auburn, and she's done a good job. Auburn isn't as difficult in skill level as you've seen out of Alabama, but they're performing clean routines.
Krista Gold now on the floor exercise for the Crimson Tide, the freshman from Severna Park, Maryland.
And she just recovered from a surgery, starting off with a beautiful double back mount. This is the first time she's competed this floor team. A wolf full, Popa to a Shushanova, a 2/10 leap combination. to a full. Very clean and well done. You know, Sarah had a change in the lineup, and one of the reasons, I think, is because Alabama has done very well this time. This allows Krista to get some experience without having that, you know, big rivalry of like a Georgia where you're 210, you know, 0.05 behind or something like this. It gives her great experience. Krista sure likes to show off to the crowd. Last time on the pass, a very clean double full. Switch side to a Shishinova, another 1/10.
Krista Gold wrapping up. One of these nationally renowned freshman gymnasts for the Crimson Tide.
And a great start for her first debut in the hometown, or home crowd.
Next on the medal team from Auburn, Sarah Newworth.
Her last pass, she does a round-off flip-flop, double full, small pike down, but definitely small little tenths here and there that will improve as she continues to get more in better shape. Remember, she had just had surgery 2 weeks prior to the season.
This is Sarah Wentworth on the beam. Mandy Chapman's floor exercise score of 9.875 just posted. I think a great response from the crowd.
Sarah, one of Auburn's most consistent competitors tonight, is getting ready for her gym series and a handspring layout. That was absolutely beautifully done. Had excellent form and had a lot of power. And she does a beautiful double turn, which is a D-level skill and a very hard and infrequent one that you'll see in college gymnastics. Double stag jump to a back handspring, which fulfills again that gym acro leap and a skill, flipping skill requirement. To her down on the beam requirement. She's a beautiful switch split to a wolf half. Setting up for a round cartwheel back handspring. Pull off the end. Does a very beautiful routine.
Very well done indeed by Sarah Wentworth for the Tigers.
It's a gorgeous gym series. Look at the legs, beautifully straight and extended, a beautiful height and a beautiful, and her dismount of the cartwheel back handspring. Full, not the most difficult dismount, but it was nice to show the tumbling on the balance beam.
And now one of the more popular routines, certainly for the evening, one that gets the crowd involved, Andrea Pickens for the Crimson Tide.
She starts off with a round-off flip-flop double back. Nice wolf jump to a tuck jump double. As you can see, the crowd has learned to scream her name at the right time. Beautiful layout, front full to a punch front. Shuttle jump, front handspring to a wolf full, a gym acro gym combination, filling a requirement, setting up for this last tumbling pass, a round off flip flop, double full, not many deductions there.
I don't know who enjoys this routine more, Andrea, the crowd, or her teammates. It's awesome.
It's pretty interactive, that's for sure. This first tumbling pass, I mean, what a landing. I don't see much of a deduction anywhere. A layout front full to a punch front. Beautiful job.
Dara Stewart, Gwen Spidel congratulating her as we move to Stephanie James now on the beam.
Stephanie's fulfilling her on the beam requirement early in her routine. Her gym series of that handspring. You could tell pretty much that she was thrown off on the right shoulder right when she came out of that handspring. But it always throws off. It's pretty difficult when it's not very wide. She has a switch side. Small little deductions on the little wobbles that you're seeing. She has a switch split to the handspring to fulfill her leap acro series. One of the differences I notice right now, right from between Auburn and Alabama, even on balance beam, is Alabama tends to take their head off the beam, show a little more expression, a little more aggressiveness, which really all that is Auburn is lacking, because they've got difficulty in their leaps and combinations. Now, she tried to put 2 leaps together there, but with the small wobble in between, she lost the connection, so she lost the 10th in bonus. Here she dismounts with a round-off full. Again, not the most difficult, and a small step on the landing. You see her, watch her right shoulder. She's bent, she's off to the right, bends the leg, and it throws her right off. She dismounts with a round-off full, a little bit of bend in the knees, and a step on the landing, which is going to be a little 10th here and there.
Stephanie James wrapping up. You heard the crowd response to Andrea Pickens' score being posted at 9.925 as we see Lissy Smith is set for the floor exercise routine.
It's a new routine for Lissy this year, and she's having a lot of fun showing it off. Shows off with a new tumbling pass, a double pike, beautifully done. A nice leap series, switch side, Hoba, Shushanova, 2/10. Very well executed. Lissy prepares for her second tumbling pass, up front to a round-off flip-flop, double full. Another series switch side to a wolf full, gives her another 10th bonus. Another leap series, wolf full shoosh, another 10th bonus. Sets up for her last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop, double full, small pike down, which will be a small deduction. But a great routine.
Lissy Smith wrapping up her portion of the floor exercise routine.
She's a round-off flip-flop, double pike position with a great landing. And it's nice to see Lissy upgrading her tumbling every single meet. A front to a round-off flip-flop, double full, executing 2 different tricks in 1 pass.
It's Jennifer Ross on the beam now for Auburn.
It's a beautiful switch side. Preparing for her acro series of a handspring layout step out. Common series for Auburn so far. Isn't one of the most difficult ones, but they've been doing a good job with it. A wolf jump to a back handspring. Switch split to a straddle jump, giving her a 2/10 bonus. Have to commend Coach Dillard because he's really done a great job with the talent that he has and that he's recruited. And the girls have a lot of camaraderie and unity. And he's really instilled that in everything that he does. It's really involved with his gymnasts. She prepares for her dismount. Front Rudy off the beam, off 2 feet. Same dismount we saw from Robin Hawkins. She did a nice job.
Good routine from Jennifer Ross, and we'll look at it again.
She comes off 2 feet. Small little slip, well, small little separation in the leg, so there'll be a small quarter-tenth deduction.
Now Reagan Tomasek on the floor exercise for the Crimson Tide, the 5th of 6 competitors on the floor for the Tide.
Reagan will be showing off a new tumbling pass she's never done in Coleman Coliseum before. So be this first pass. A round off flip-flop, double Arabian. Absolutely beautiful. Now last weekend at Georgia, she had a little problem on that. She certainly proved beautifully tonight. Switch side, Copa, straddle jump, a 1/10 lead combination. Getting ready for her second tumbling pass. A round off flip-flop, double full. She's a very elegant dancer. She goes to a wolf full, to a Shishanova, one of the highest leapers. Setting up for her last tumbling pass. Front handspring, layout front to a tuck front. Absolutely beautiful routine.
Reagan Tomasek. Great performance for the Crimson Tide. Sarah Patterson loves it, and we'll look at it again.
Gotta look at this first tumbling pass. She gets up in the air, adds a half twist, double front, and a beautiful landing. Second tumbling pass, a round off flip-flop, double full. Beautiful position, small pike down. And then our last tumbling pass, a front handspring, beautiful layout front, beautiful punch front. Again, no deductions in the landing. They don't have much to take off on that one.
Sarah Balagash now up for Auburn. Final competitor for the Tigers on the beam.
She did a beautiful, very tough gym series of a layout. I believe they ended and started with the same leap series, or gym series. From both Sarah Wentworth and Sarah Balagash. Again, a handspring quarter turn, also called a Miller. We'll call these particular tricks names like a Miller or a Gonzalez or Yurchenko. These are called these because they were competed first time in an international competition by that gymnast. For instance, Shannon Miller. The Miller's named after her. Yurchenko came after the Yurchenko. So Chris, if you wanted Stewart, you could just get out there and compete internationally. And
I think those are the falls, aren't they? The falls are called the Stewarts.
Okay, we can start to call those then. Just not a round off double full. That was a great game routine, Sarah. And a nice way for Auburn to conclude. That handspring quarter. There's that Miller. And her dismount, a round off. Small separation in the leg, but a great landing on her double full dismount.
Heard the crowd reaction as Reagan Tomasek's 9.9 was posted for the crowd.
I really would like to know where they got the 10th because I was pretty impressed.
Now Robin Hawkins here to wrap up the evening's competition in Coleman Coliseum.
A crowd favorite on this event because it was just last year when Robin hurt herself and she's changed some of her tumbling. She started with a new pass, a round off whip, back handspring, double back. Beautiful. That's the first time she'd ever competed that. wolf jump, round off, straddle jump to a polka.
The entire team performing the routine with her there on the side.
She's got another second difficult tumbling pass. A round off flip flop, 2.5. Beautifully done. Setting up for her third and final tumbling pass. Round off flip flop, double full. Very well done.
Robin Hawkins, another tremendous performance in floor exercises for the Crimson Tide.
Check out this first pass. A round off whip back, back handspring, beautiful high double back, and a gorgeous landing. Another second difficult tumbling pass, a round off flip flop, double 2.5. As she concludes with a clean, beautiful double full. She should be very happy with that.
Can tell she is. And as a team, Alabama very pleased as well with their performance this evening. We'll have the final scores for you. Can tell you the Tide will be a victor tonight. I'll tell you by how much when we return to Coleman Coliseum after this here on ACN Sports. From the Alabama Crimson Tide at home before a great crowd of more than 7,000 at Coleman Coliseum. You see some of the scores from tonight as Alabama knocks off its arch rivals from Auburn. The Tigers with a solid effort this evening. As we take a look at the scores from the final rotation, Auburn and Alabama wrapping things up here at the Capstone. I'm Chris Stewart, joined by Dana Dobransky and, of course, Sarah Patterson, the head coach of the Crimson Tide. And got to be very pleased with the performance of your squad this evening.
Yes, I am. We did a great job over in Georgia, and we had room for improvement, and we came back tonight, and I think we capitalized on it. And they weren't disappointed by the weather or all the other things that we had no control over, and they just came out here and did a great job.
Sarah, tonight you had outstanding performances from your senior class, but at the same time you competed quite a few freshmen. You had one freshman, 4/10 from perfection. What are your plans? What are you telling the freshmen as you go into every meet so as they get better and better?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do is just get them experience. We got several new people out there. Krista Gold did an exhibition on ball. We put her in the floor exercise lineup. Alexa Martinez was a little sore. Gwen Spidle's hamstring was a little tight after the balance beam routine. And we have the kind of depth that we can do that. And it gave other people chances, and yet we still had a record performance for ourselves.
Congratulations. It was a great job.
Revenge a factor at all as you go into that meet with Minnesota? They beat you in the opener last year.
Well, it is. We lost last year, and we'd like to kind of show them exactly what Alabama Gymnastics is all about. And you know, the fans that came out tonight, that was just tremendous in this terrible evening. And, you know, hopefully the ones that missed will come out next week because Saturday night it's going to be a great competition.
Alabama a winner over Auburn. They'll try to do the same against Minnesota next week. If you can't make it in person here at Coleman Coliseum, please join us on ACN Sports. For Sarah Patterson and Dana Dobransky, I'm Chris Stewart. Thank you for joining us, and good night from Tuscaloosa.